Welcome to Easy to Spell, where the name is easy to spell, and we did it wrong anyway. I'm your Dungeon Master, Andrew. Joining me tonight are most of our fabulous adventures, and I believe a black and white picture of our fifth flipping you all off. But beginning with
Hi, I'm Will, and I'm going to play Dominique.
Hi, my name is Rachel, and I am playing Angelique.
I'm Mike, and I'm playing Sai, and you don't know my last name.
And my name's David. I'm looking up stuff because I should have done this earlier. Let's go!
we are just as prepared as ever, but we have exciting news. We finally have across YouTube and Twitch 100 followers. And sure, there's overlap, but that means that I'm getting a introductory script to maybe rein in a little bit of our, nose end chaos that we get and some of my rambling. We're going to have the intro, which I think we've got pretty well unlocked, but we're going to figure out like where we talk about other things to plug and potentially sponsors and all this stuff. So
I thought you were just about to give me a TED talk there. I'm not going to lie.
I think next week we're going to have that. I think it's my job to write that, which is fun. I'll be asking the rest.
Ironic because you can't do it on the spot. So
yeah, I can't do it on the spot, but I can prep. That's the one thing I've specifically not prepped is my openings. I wing it every time, as I'm sure most people can tell at this point. On that note, do we have anything we need to pitch or announce? I know that was the big one, that we have people that like us and they like watching, which is cool.
I want to give a shout out to everybody that watches us.
Woo!
Kind of what I just did, but yeah. Yeah, thank you all. We would still be playing D&D without you here, but we probably wouldn't be doing it on the internet. We probably would have given up a while ago on that. But it's satisfying to see, like, to have people with us that kind of enjoy the stories we want to tell, and it's let us do some cool stuff, which I'm very happy about. Anything else? Did we? No? Cool. Nope. Again, this is all going to be like worked out in advance. It's going to be pristine. The next time it's going to be beautiful. Last time on Easy to Spell, and it has been a little bit both in-game and out, we kind of finished setting the stage of Avarice. Each of our individual motivations, the music really just kicked into high gear, ramping us up. Having found one of their two missing children, Angel and Doman, recovering Lear, learning a little bit of what happened to her, and knowing that Mav is still missing and unknown. Yoshida is currently dealing with bouts of zombieism. It is unknown, but as her urges grew more and more ill-contained, Averin, having discovered pieces of his past and who he might have been, and the whole, murder of a wealthy noble at the party that the group was at, which went a little unresolved, but I'm sure that won't come back anytime soon. We have, in our own absence, our characters in the game have had about 2 months of time to recover, plan, train, and prepare for the things to come. It's involved purchasing a space. I'm going to skip this on. It's a little too heavy for me. At the time, they've purchased a space on Terrace, the tier of Avarice, on the ground level, the largest of the populaces of the city. A large semi-underground place with a large workshop, enough rooms for the party to live comfortably, training space, all the accoutrement that a group of adventurers to be, or kind of are, would need. It is hidden behind a workshop of Physic the Alchemist, who was hired to open a storefront and kind of keep an eye on people that might be seeking out the individuals of the party. He's set up and is able to also, as a perk, able to provide you with wholesale potions and alchemical supplies that you might need. Physic is a gnome with a shaved head. He has a number of small burns and old injuries from his alchemical work, and his setup. He's the kind of alchemist that you would hire to run a front. So he also is able to provide poisons and not just run-of-the-mill healing supplies like most alchemists would be sought for. Everin, I know you did some work on the vehicle, was the big thing that you talked about. But before we get to the other people, I think you have some items that Averin has been working on in the 2 months that you'd like to hand out to the party. Is that correct?
Yes, that is. So, a couple things are going to happen initially. So, first things first, Averin, I guess before the items, he's actually going to go through and talk to, I would say the whole party, about, first thing, I would say Lear probably initially. And yeah, so he is going to ask you if it's okay if he looks into her condition.
Yeah, of course. Over the course of 2 months, there's some baseline information you'll get no matter what you roll, but go ahead and give me a medicine check.
And
at advantage, you're able to take a lot of time to look at this. So
okay. Oh, that rolled behind the shit. Oh, that's a 19. That's a good one. And that's a 17. So no, that's just 19 on the dice. Where is medicine? I don't look at that one. I do 25.
25. Lear has been via the implant, which you were able to remove with that and kind of get her patched back up. She been able to help her mend, and the reason you're able to help is because with a 25, yeah, she's been drained of her, for lack of a better term, planar essence. There is an arcana that's generally used in like teleportation and summoning celestial energies that are inherent to those with ties outside of the material realm. They're the strongest in Azmir. Whatever, you don't know the reason, but you know the mechanics by which somebody has drawn this energy out of her to use for who knows what.
Okay.
She is now effectively human. Once fully drained, the body is incapable of recovering that energy. She will heal. She will be fine. Any magical voice she may have had before is gone with it. Lear, did her parents, when you came up with Lear, did she have a voice? Did she have a magical talent as per the rules of the world?
Yep,
Whatever it was is gone. And from what Averin is able to pass, the information he's able to pass on to you will not be recovered. This is news because to all of you, because it means that a voice is not inherent in anyone. The fact that this energy, especially so strong in an Esmir, with it disappearing with her voice being taken, is unheard of.
Okay.
Sai, would you have been over the course of the 2 months? Would you have mentioned this to Sai?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask that.
Yes, so I would have probably, unless Doman and Angel specifically said don't say anything, it would have been brought up at some point or another.
I don't think I would have.
No. Free information.
Okay.
If a voice can be taken,
A voice can be given.
potentially.
And then with that, I'll kind of hop over. He will look into Yoshida as well, but for the time being, we'll skip over that. And over the course of time, he's going to be splitting his time between research with Lear and Yoshida. He's going to be spending his daily 100 gold with parts prep. I had done so much prep before this, you have no idea. And then he is going
I feel like
to...
you just want things from me, and that's the only time you bring me out.
No, I will have conversation with you.
And
Like
further
this piece
conversation
here.
will be handled by Rachel. Further Valley Girl convos.
So basically, what he will do to utterly, I wouldn't say bore, but at least attempt to hold a conversation, explain every little thing that he's doing on each item that he's making. And that being said, the first item on the list will be probably, there's another bit of RP that I need to get into as well, but I'll fucking do that in a minute. God damn it.
We're
Okay.
not any particular rush. This is
Take your time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 2 hours or something like that.
Yeah, shit. So first things first, he's going to probably produce size first. And with that,
there she is. Everybody welcome Lucy playing Yashta, the spirit bard?
Yeah.
Half elven, or half elven spirit bard, right? Okay. Perfect.
right.
I will try not to yell into the microphone.
No, you're good. You're good.
So, then Sai, he will come up with a. It's actually just a very simple hemp bracelet, black with small stitches of cyan that weave through it, and then a small medallion of a fist weaved inside of that bracelet.
Oh my god, if
And-
you made that for me, I would be like so upset because there's like not even any diamonds.
Yes, well, fortunately, it is not for you. It's for a very simple herringon. I had a brain fart there. I could not remember what you were.
Boring.
Yes, can be. Anyway, so he will hand that over to you, and Sai,
Yeah.
I've noticed that your ranged combat abilities are sometimes impeded by, well, lack of reach. I'm hoping that this may help. And if you want to look up, and this could be broken, so I have the other item just in case. Bracelet of fist extension.
If it gives you an extra 15 to your attack,
Yep.
it doesn't work, and we'll tell you the other item. But this is the
If
one
it is
that
exceedingly broken, the item itself is broken. Don't use it.
Okay. I will add it for now and see what happens.
All right. And if it doesn't add what it's supposed to, read it. You'll see it basically tells you what it's supposed to do. And then I'll give you the other side of it if it doesn't work. And then over time, he's going to craft another. And then Yoshida specifically, now that you are back, he's going to, first, Yoshida, would you mind if I looked into your condition?
Which one?
Well, the mark that the
Oh,
person
oh.
left on you.
Yes,
Um,
yes. Sure. can I keep my shirt on? I guess I don't.
No. That is fine. You can keep your shirt on.
Okay,
It
cool.
is
Thanks,
okay.
Abby.
Give me another medicine check at advantage
Okay.
again because you've got months. This is
Okay. Not as good, but still good. 21.
21. 21. So two things. This is related. This is almost the inverse of what happened with Lear. Through the wound on Yasha's chest and her skin around it, she has been flooded with not celestial from a different plane, but some form of energy that is her body is fighting against. And part of that, you think if Yashta was really just a half elf, this would have overtaken her. Her cells are changing so rapidly. Like we're gonna say you took like a sample and were able to look at it under eyes of minute seeing, and her cells are shifting so rapidly that whatever this is spreading way more slowly than you think it has any right to. They're not repairing themselves, but they are shifting. They are
Yoshka.
continuously reverting to their original form.
Yeah.
Not to alarm you, but you should be dead.
I'm sorry. What?
Well, the cells are essentially eating your live cells, and they're eating them in such a rate of which you should be dead, but you're not, and I'm not sure why.
Okay. I'm not.
Basically, what I'm saying is we need to look into this sooner rather than later.
All right. How do we do that? Do we know?
I don't know.
Have I heard of anything like this in my family?
Actually, no. This is you know. I mean, you have an idea what your voice is. You know of your family's voice. Your father. His ability is just to make things taste good. He touches like any food or candy or anything that he touches, just
Oh, no.
immediately becomes like the perfect level of seasoning for what it's supposed to be. A great source of your family's recent incredible wealth. Um, your mother has some control over flames. Your brother can turn any non-alcoholic beverage alcoholic.
That makes sense.
And you're able to, you know what you're able to do.
Okay. Well, it might have something to do with my ability to. I don't know. And then I just like kind of dab and change into Psy.
Okay. Avern, give me a Arcana check. Because
buddy.
you're familiar. Yashta is able to cast Disguise Self. That's her ability.
Okay.
Takes on the form of people. Give me an Arcana check.
That's high. That's a 27.
So you are you're aware Disguise Self is an illusion. She just literally changed her
She's a
form.
Shifter.
She shifted and is now like an exact copy of Psy.
Why me, man? Every fucking campaign.
Spider-Man
Try to kill
meme.
us, yes.
Insert Spider-Man meme.
Well,
Um,
Yasha is in the form of Sai. Mike will play the parts of Sai and Yasha. Just kidding.
Oh,
Oh,
that isn't your average disguise self.
Oh no, I'm
You're
getting better
Mjolnir.
at it. It's getting better. I
That
wasn't
might
used to be able to do
explain.
the fur. Ooh.
That might explain why your cell regeneration rate is above average.
Yeah, that might. Man, I should do this more often.
Speaking of Yoshida,
I'm gonna throw this at Yasha. Sai's never given any indication of this, but as you like stroke your ears, they are incredibly sensitive.
Oh. I can I'm like, Abby, you're really loud. You're just a loud robot.
and without hesitation, he plucks a couple hairs,
I deserve that.
No
I
problem.
deserve that.
And-
Okay.
observes the hairs to see if there might be a match between, and this can go on later, whether it's an exact match with Sai or if there's some cell regeneration going on there as well. And then whilst there, Avi is going to reach into his bag and I guess the prerequisite this are your bagpipes, do they have a lot of meaning to you or no?
They're just they mean less to me than my violin did.
Is there, okay, I was gonna say, is there a bunch of sentimental value to it or no?
No.
I guess is a better way to put it. Perfect. Would you prefer, because this is gonna fuck my shit up if you say yes, would you prefer a violin over bagpipes?
I would.
Fuck. All right.
You can't
Okay.
tell her that. You know what the answer is going to be.
Fuck. Okay.
very
This is
confused right now.
this is on the spot. He pulls out of his bag a violin. You got me on the spot. I'm making this up as I go. All right. It's gonna be the same thing, but it ain't what it's called now.
Wait.
So he's gonna pull out a violin.
Okay.
It is going to be like the wood itself is going to be charred, so it's going to be a black color, and then on the outskirts of it is going to have a little bit of cyan stripping to it, and up at the head where the tuning knobs are is going to be a metallic skull, and the fuck the thing
Bow.
the bow, there you go. Yep. The bow is also going to be that a very thin charred piece of wood with the string, the horsehair is actually going to be cyan as well, along with the strings of the violin. And he is going to
metal.
very and it is going to have metal studs in various places that wouldn't be uncomfortable. And he is going to play a note because he does not play. And when he does, from the top of it is going to shoot flames.
What?
And he is, yeah.
That's awesome. Sorry. I
This is
just
so perfect.
you guys keep giving me stuff that's gonna
Aesthetic
fuck shit
flames,
up.
not
Yeah, so they're aesthetic flames. They're quite literally, they do nothing. They're illusionary.
Okay.
You can change their color, you can form them into shapes, but that's it.
Okay.
So you could literally make a dance thing.
a dance thing.
Yep. Flames that
Okay.
dance. There you go.
I'm gonna
Dancing flames.
like jump up and down and spin in a circle and then change back into Yosha. And I'm gonna like toss my bagpipes to the side and it's gonna like and then
Uh,
try
so-
the violin.
what you're gonna look up, we'll have to change the name on it, but right now they're called goth pipes.
Oh, they're a real thing.
Yes. I put some. Yeah. Damn you. Anyway. So yeah. You look up goth pipes. It should be in there. If it's fundamentally broken when you equip it, I will give you another item to look up.
Okay. I am so excited. I'm just gonna like run off with my goth limb. Goth
Yeah.
Goblin.
We'll call
Love
it the goth.
Sweet.
That's so weird.
No, it's
right.
dope.
So yeah.
I am. That was so neat. I did not expect to log in and get attacked like that.
It was holding on to some stuff for you because we knew you were coming, and so it's like, all right, as soon as she gets here.
That's so
Okay,
cool.
so there's that. And then to expedite the rest of this, because I don't want this whole episode about me giving out gifts.
I'm wrong with it.
I'm here for it.
Doman and
Yeah.
Angel. I'm going to take you both. And obviously we're going to go, we went over, Lear and everything like that. And over the course of it, he's going to get permission to do stuff to the sand skimmer, which, by the way, is getting a lot of fucking cyan built into that bitch. And then he's going to eventually come up to you with 2 gloves, one being white and one being black. And he's going to hand the black one over to Doman, the white one over to Angel. And basically, they're fingerless gloves. Son of a bitch. They're fingerless gloves with along the edges and the stitching, cyan stitching. And with that, you two are able to pass items between each other that you can lift with one hand.
Handy trick, Abby.
No.
There's also a couple of other added benefits into such, but
Does his vibrate?
I could make them.
Don't want it now. Don't want it.
I like leaning. I'm like, I want it.
I could make them do that. Perhaps a bit of tweaking.
Ooh, tweaking.
These are great, Abby.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
So with that, Doman, you look up Glove of the Pact Keeper. I think one of yours or both of yours is broken, so I'll have to give you your item. But it should be at least written in there. And then Angel, you're looking up Glove of the Devout.
The Devout. Okay.
This is so cool.
And I am actually just going to send you both the item. By the way, I believe almost all of these items require attunement. I could be wrong.
Most of them do.
I don't think mine does.
Yours does
Yeah,
not.
No.
Or yours does? One of yours didn't. I know that. Because you were like close on magic items, if I remember right.
Yeah, it doesn't say it needs attuned. So
That could be my broken shit. I'm pretty sure that does need to be attuned, if I remember right.
I wouldn't worry about it.
It's fine.
It's not crazy.
It's fine.
You managed to bypass the attunement requirement if you.
All right. Cool. Then I will message you both those things, and then yeah, that is kind of it for Avi. He is going to basically take his time and deal. Oh no, it is not. He's actually also at some point with Lear and looking over her and removing things. He's also going to give Lear a cloak of protection.
Oh, the sweetie. That'll make her feel better.
So nothing special so far in that. So yeah.
Question. I cannot find gloves or glove
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
devout.
yeah.
Only an amulet?
Yep, that's what you're
Mm.
looking for is the amulet.
Okay.
The
is it
glove,
1, 2, or
that's
3?
what I was gonna send you. One. Just one.
1. Okay.
Yeah, these are +1. The thing with being able to pass items you can hold in one hand, I think it was it 15, 20, or it was like 25 pounds we agreed on, right?
Yes,
Items.
I have it wrote down. Wrote down. I got that thing wrote down.
You did,
Yeah.
dude. It wrote in it.
Yeah, as long as you're both wearing one of the gloves, if you're holding an odd item that meets is within those requirements, the other person can just be holding the object.
Yep. So if yours is broken, Will, it's Rod of the Pack Keeper is what you're looking for.
Glove works. I've also found Glove of the Devout in here.
Yeah, so that's
Rachel,
the one that I made.
Rachel, you might have homebrew items turned off. You might not have it.
Yeah, you would have to turn the homebrew items on.
I'm pretty sure I
'Cause
have it now, but I don't know. I'll
We'll figure
it out later.
it out.
Did
else
you
is happening?
find Lucy? Did you find the goth pipes?
Yeah, there are
Perfect.
two.
Perfect. Cool. All right. Gothlin.
Gotham.
That, I think, let's move to Sai. 2 months.
Cool.
Which Avi is going to push him to say what he said.
Yeah, so we can just say that kind of happens when I get the bracelet, and I'll.
Mhm.
No, I know, Avi. I just need to talk to somebody first and figure something out. But it has to be said. I'll let him know.
Okay.
And after learning what happened to Lear and that she no longer has a voice, Sai would occasionally peek in to the room and like the first time just kind of try to talk to her a little bit and hey Lear.
Oh, hey Sai. How are you doing? That's
I'm
need
good.
something?
Yeah, I wanted to check in with you. I know that a lot's happened lately. And the magic thing, I know that's not easy right now.
Yeah. Still getting used to. What was Lear's voice? What was her talent?
Friends,
Whatever
I
you-
believe.
Friends? Okay.
Oh, that's so
It's been weird, but
I just want to let you know, like, it doesn't make you any less of a person. I've never had a voice, and I'm doing okay.
thanks. Yeah, since talking to people here just around, it was never really important out with the clan. Like, as long as you carry your weight, nobody really gave a shit how you did it. I mean, mine didn't do me much good, so I guess it feels like something's just missing, like I didn't realize how much I relied on it, I guess. Thank you.
I get that feeling, and as long as you keep yourself surrounded with good people, I mean, your parents alone, but that feeling starts to go away.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Do you have anything sweet on you? Avron's been making me eat pretty much just beans, and I guess it's helping. He says it's something about them being a magical fruit, and but it's all he's letting me eat.
Do they make you cool?
I don't have anything right now. Is there something you like?
I just really realistically, I want to eat anything else. We just can't let him know. He's been real intense about
I
it.
got you. I'll have something
Okay.
for you tonight.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That
Yeah.
means more than anything at this point.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you later. I gotta go run some errands.
Yeah, I'll be here. And she looks, and you see there's like, she's got like an IV that Avern has at place, and she's kind of just stuck in this room. You notice a few cans of beans around.
Cool. So then I'll leave her, and I'll just occasionally do that same thing, kind of just check in, make
Okay.
sure she doesn't feel alone, that kind of stuff. And then I wanted to go talk to. I am a terrible person and cannot remember his name.
Ash.
No, definitely.
Catch him.
The Elder Hiljain. I can't remember how to pronounce it.
Hiljaden.
Yeah, Hiljain.
Oh,
So I'll probably just sneak away at some point. Not necessarily like sneak away, but go talk to my monastery.
Okay. And you arrive. I mean, it's easy. I think Sai probably had influenced the group when you were searching for where to purchase a base of operations so that you're within, not right next to, but within walking distance of the monastery. You enter through the front doors. And these are, you, of course, Sai knows what this looks like, but this is your first time going here. It is a small, like almost a gated community. There's a small wall that runs the circumference of 3 or 4 very minimalistic stone buildings. You know, the 2 buildings to each side are like the dorms. It's where most people that live here sleep and spend most of their time. Crossing through the yard, a number of young men and women of varying races are training with staves and swords and, you know, the orderly rows that monks are familiar with. A few of your instructors that you recognize kind of nod to you as you enter. You pass through towards the main building, the only 2-story building of the conclave, and enter. And at this time of day and midday, when most of the acolytes are training, it is empty, except for one large figure at the very end, a minotaur, who you know is Father Hiljaden, who's lighting candles. And as the door shuts behind you, your footsteps echo in this long, empty room, the few thin mats where the monks will sit and listen to the teachings of Hiljaden. Turns and says, Brother Sai, what brings you home this time?
I'll kind of bow to him and say, "Hi, Father. I'm sorry to show up unannounced."
He bows back. His horns, which have been cut off 2 or 3 inches from the head, a large iron ring through his nose. Bows back.
I've been struggling with focus, and I've noticed that my punches aren't hitting when I need them to. And I think part of that might be some dreams I've been having lately. And I wanted to talk to you about those.
He kind of looks you over quizzically. Indeed, a lack of drive, focus, can take strength from even the mightiest arms. What is it? Of what do you dream, young brother?
I guess it's less of a dream and more of a nightmare. And it keeps reoccurring. But there's this dark figure that is taking over people's bodies. They look zombie-ish, and he places his hand on their chest, and they reanimate. and he has an army of thousands with him. And I
Make an
think
insight check.
Okay. Wrong one. Oh wow, my insight's amazing. 16?
See? Nods. Like he's kind of like nodding and not understanding, like, oh, I know what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
just kind of following along.
And then I'll just follow up with and I think I've seen him out in Avarice.
I can see why this would trouble you. And when you saw him, this figure, did you strike him down? Did you let him go?
We
What
tried
happened?
we tried to stop him. We went to this house that we were told to go to that was known for people to be disappearing around. And I didn't get a great look at him, and I tried to chase after him, but before we were able to get up to him, most of my party that I've been with, he struck one of our party members, and they have a black hand on their chest now.
I'm not familiar with any of this. But having seen such things, I understand why you would have troubling dreams. You've been training, yes?
I've been trying as often as I could.
So I've taught you to focus the body, focuses the mind. We always will have a harder road than most, just being who we are. To find yourself against such a thing, it seems to have shaken you. This should strengthen your resolve, not break it. And he shrugs off the cloak. You train with me in preparation. And you see the Minotaur scars, huge, like gaping wounds that have healed over time. The gray and black mottled fur. He stretches. We will strengthen your resolve, young brother. And he blurs for a moment and just crashes into your side. Cue montage of Sai training with Sai, who again is probably like 3 times your height. This is a dude that's a good foot or two taller than Doman even. This is a massive Minotaur. And if there's anything else you'd like to discuss with him, go for it. But no, it is going to take place as this bull whoops the bunny into shape.
The only other thing I would say is after getting my ass kicked, like wiping blood from my face, breathing hard. Oh, that reminds me, there's one more part of that dream.
What is it? And his fist catches you in the stomach and just like lifts you off of the ground.
The party I'm with, I saw them before I met them.
And the blow, which normally he would follow through. The training you're used to, again, having grown up, has been a lot of technique and like strengthening yourselves. This is training in the sense of you learn or he breaks you.
Mm-hmm.
He falters. He doesn't follow through. In the sense of divination.
They were glowing figures in my dream. Glowing gold. And right next to me.
You're sure? before you ever saw their faces? Not, did you maybe encounter them on the street, and then
No, I'd never seen them before, but the moment I saw them in person, I knew who they were.
stops? I will require time to think on this. Sigh. For now, let us continue training.
He just
And-
shakes his fists and okay.
And for the next 2 months, a few times a week, I'm going to assume Sai is going. The party, you see him coming back. The first couple weeks, beat to shit. But Sai begins to carve out a bit. Like he's bulking up.
A buff bunny.
Yeah, buff Bunny. And we'll come back to that. Was there anything else that you were going to be getting up to?
Only other thing was purchasing a set of bracers for myself.
Excellent. We've talked about the amount of time that was, or the amount that would cost. So you've got those. After about a month and a half of constant training, you begin to go toe to toe, becoming much more evenly matched with Hiljaden. Learn a little bit more about him, and before he founded this particular monastery and joined the order, he was a pit fighter in the sub city. And what was it? Esthenos? Yeah, Esthenos. Before he broke away from that and joined the monks.
I guess actually there was one last thing. While I'm at the monastery, between getting my ass kicked, I would like to just look into any books that we may have, and read about just voices in general, and anything that the monastery might have on them. I know that we don't focus on them, but any knowledge of origin of voices, reasons why some may not, things
Okay.
like that.
Give me a history check.
18.
18 is pretty good. Avern's going to be a big help in this, especially now that he's recovering memories of prior to his current state, and how voices didn't used to be a thing. Like magic was either innate, like with sorcerers, given like warlocks or clerics or paladins, or learned, such as a wizard. Voices are historically unique to Avarice, and the world now. Like some of the nomads having voices, even though they don't reside within the city. It wasn't a known thing. People didn't just have like a singular magical talent. Beyond that, with an 18, you don't learn a whole lot. Beyond that and what you already know. Domin and Angel. What are the two of you getting up to?
I think we had planned on doing as much research as we can into what's happening with Lear, and then trying to find resources that would allow us access to the lower levels of what's the place called? Oh my gosh.
Avarice.
Avarice.
Thank you, of Avarice, and any information we can on Krest and people that can get us places. If you know what I mean.
Okay. So, right out the gate, Rathmus, I know you are aware of and have a connection there. There's the matter of the lingering debt that he has yet to call in. You've made a number of contacts. The majority of which have fled or died. But Victorine, with connections to, as she hinted towards a thieves guild. You mentioned to me that you might reach out to Starkeeper Yoden. I think it was a message to me. But you do hear back from, I'll get to that in a minute. Give me a persuasion and deception checks from both of you. This is garnering contacts and working your way into
27 deception
Jesus.
and 11.
Do I even need to
Persuasion.
roll?
Yeah, I still would, because you two have very different strengths and skills.
19 deception, and then what was the other one? Persuasion?
Persuasion.
14 persuasion.
Well, with the persuasions, just kind of getting into the good graces of people and, making contact is the usual way. You don't make a lot of headway. You learn there is, which can be validated by Sai and what he's learned. There are like underground fight clubs in Esthenos. You know that there are a number of not tournaments, but like challenger rings that if you kind of work your way through, you get invited to like prize fights even further into the city. As far down as Mantos, where you'll be invited to fight in just, again, big prize fights for the entertainment of some of the criminal underground elite, which is the most direct route we're able to find through the persuasive means and just guarding contacts. Deception. You contact Rathmus. This is really your only underground contact between Rathmus and Victorine. One of you reaches out to each. Victorine is able to put you in contact with the Thieves Guild that operates in Esthenos. Generally smugglers. She puts you in touch with the Grave Dancers, which are a smuggling ring that operate between Esthenos and Terrace. So drugs and like illicit goods primarily, but you learn that they do have a financier. You're able to get a contact within that organization with the assumption that they're going to recruit you is the route you take. Rathmus, again, still hasn't called in his debt. Through him, he can get you work as a cleaner for some of the underground gangs. Smaller families than the ones on Terrace, like the Iron Serpents and people like that. These are families that have been doing this kind of thing for a long time. But if, working as a cleaner, which is assassination and like hit and run kind of thing, like, so whether you want to move,
I thought
like,
you were talking about janitor.
no, a cleaner in the criminal sense of they're like, hey, we've got some loose ends, or we had a job that went south. We need you guys to make sure that our names stay out of the wrong mouths. If you want to
Okay.
get in the graces of some of the people in the underground to work your way farther down in the city, there's some routes you can take. You hear back from Starkeeper Yoden. And his letter says, "It's strange for you to have reached out and have mentioned Krest. Some of our scouts recently found what they think to be a temple of the old gods, him included. We're planning an expedition. You are always welcome to join us. Share of the spoils split as usual. I hope that you're safe. I'm glad you found at least some of what you're looking for."
I found the temple of the old gods, including Krest, meaning Krest should no longer be around. Is the idea behind that, right?
That I mean, it is just you mentioned Krest. You're like, "Hey, looking for information on this," and they're like, "Hey, there's this old temple, and Krest is one of the old pantheon. He's the only remaining god of the old pantheon, but information
That we
that's not
know
being information that's not being controlled by the city. This is the kind of place you'd find it."
Got it. Okay.
Lear has recovered significantly. And she kind of, at a time that she's able to get the two of you alone. So, should I stay in the city, or are we going home? I know you're still looking for Mav, and if there's anything I can do to help, I want to, or I can go stay with Barb. What do you think is best, or do we want to try to bring some of the rest of the family here to help look for Mav? What's the plan?
We have to stay, obviously, and I mean, we'd love for your help, but you're in some pretty rough shape, kid. So if you want to go home and sit it out with Barb for a while, I know they could use your help. But
I mean, you know as well as I do, being around Barb is never sitting it out. I won't be.
that's
This
very
is
true.
this is pretty cush compared to anything she's going to put me through.
Well, maybe this is the right spot to take a rest.
Yeah.
We'd take you if you wanted to stay, but I mean, we don't want to get you in the same position, so maybe you help behind the scenes if you're going to stay.
Yeah. I mean, Abby's got lots of books and stuff. He's says that I can read, and I'm happy to help research. And Sai and Yosha have been really nice. And I think I'd like to stay, if it's okay with you, and it's not any trouble for you. I know.
No, I'd love to have
Always
you. You know
okay.
we'd love to have you.
And honestly, I would prefer Yunia. Then I can make sure that you are safe.
I'd like that too. So is Sai seeing anybody?
I'm not having this conversation. This one's on you.
Isn't he a little short for you?
I mean, aren't you a little short for Dad?
You've got a point.
Not the same.
I know he's just been. He's been like bringing me food and checking on me, and everybody home has always been so rough and ready, and he seems gentle. I mean, recently he's been like bloody and bruised and limping around, but still, like, he still makes time to bring me food. And
Yeah, he's a sweet guy. You could do a lot worse. And
Oh, shit! I thought. Sorry, I thought you left, Dad. That's...
No, it's still here, just
Sai is very kind.
loyal to a fault.
that be-
So
Would that be weird for you guys? I know it's your friend. He's just closer to my age.
This whole world is weird. There's nothing that you could do that would throw us off or make us weirded out.
Bet you're wrong there, but I'll try not to.
yeah, just don't
Nothing
try.
you would
Just
be
take our word on
comfortable
it.
doing.
Oh, with the way you and Dad have been acting these last couple of weeks, yeah, that's weirding me out a lot.
Told you the walls were thin.
And your door is open half the time.
That's not on me.
I think it very specifically is on you.
The door does not close very well.
See if
Put
I
a
can
boot
convince
in front
Abby
of it.
to create automatic locking doors, I guess. Just
Or insulation.
or insulation. Fine. Yeah, I'll help where I can. It's gonna be mostly, I guess, research and stuff. And if I can get a job nearby, ear to the ground. It's been kind of nice being in one place, being able to recover. It will be good to get back home, though. All of us.
I
That
agree.
stationary life is nice for a while, but I kind of miss the new sights and the sands and, life out there.
Yeah. There's so much just noise here. Not
None of it
many
means
people
anything.
seem like they're really living.
Just play my bagpipes really loud.
Didn't Abby get her a violin? Didn't we?
Get done with those bagpipes. It's just so loud.
I think I'm going to take a nap. I'm a bit drained. Thank you guys again.
Thing before we get out of your hair, kid. I had your old lute restrung. So, when you feel better and you feel like playing again, let me know. I'll come sing with you.
Yeah, let me. Do you have it on you? Is it with you?
It's just outside. I'm gonna go grab it. I'll go
Oh.
get it for her.
And she takes it and she just holds it for a minute and takes a breath and kind of begins playing. After a minute of just kind of warming up, like kind of shakes. She goes, I'm going to have to, I think, practice a little bit more before we get into any songs, Dad. But I'll practice. This will help fill the time.
Yeah, get your chops back.
Yeah.
And I'll kiss her on the forehead and I'll vacate.
I feel like I could be used better or I feel like my time could be used better than making your room soundproof. I'm not sure why you want that.
Are you talking to Domin and Angel, or are you talking
Yeah.
to...
Just later down the road, like, why would you
Yeah.
want me to soundproof your room? I feel like my
Well,
time could be more valuable
I-
elsewhere.
I think that
I-
it is a matter of team bonding.
Or not
Team
team
bonding.
bonding. Team bonding in the appropriate teams.
Yes.
How would
Abby,
sound-
it would really help my recovery if you would soundproof their room or mine.
right.
I think it would help a lot.
Okay. Well, let's see. And he kind of scans over the room. The acoustics of this room, okay. And anyway,
Goes through. Say Abby is able to successfully soundproof your guys' room.
Shall we get
Anything
the
else
lock fixed?
Anything else Angel and Domin are working towards?
I don't.
Yeah, actually, I've got a conversation I just want to have with Ange. So it'll be at night one time when we're falling asleep. Ange, I don't want us to sound crazy. Put that out. We're in bed.
Gonna set the whole place on fire. What the fuck?
It's like the post cigarette, right?
Yeah, that's
Sure,
the joke.
anyways.
But these last couple of months since we've been looking for Mav, I don't want to sound like I'm out of my mind, but I feel like every night I've been dreaming about him, and every night it gets more and more clear. I almost feel like I'm developing some sort of a connection in that. Nah, it sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Connection to what?
To Mav. Every night. It's not the same dream, but Mav's in them. And every night it's more and more pronounced. It's more and more definitive. It's more and more memorable.
Is
I don't-
it like what are the dreams about?
One night it's me and him out on the sand skimmer in the middle of nowhere. One night it's me and him in some cage somewhere, probably just, projecting where I think he's at now. We're here, we're there. Sometimes we talk, sometimes he's at a distance, but every night he's there.
Can you control the conversations?
Not really.
Are you aware you're dreaming?
Not really. Just when I wake up.
I think that this is probably just getting to you. But I'm no expert.
Well, you're right. It's definitely getting to me, but we'll find him soon enough, yeah?
Soon, I hope.
And I'll just peck her on the cheek and roll over.
She's
Yoshida.
gonna.
Oh, sorry.
Never mind.
That's not-
It's not appropriate. We're moving on.
Okay.
Good thing it's soundproofed.
The screen sets to black.
Yep.
Round two. Fight.
The glove begins to vibrate.
Oh,
I took that off.
Speaking of which,
Fade to black. Yoshida,
yes.
what are you getting up to? You've got 2 months. Everybody's been training, working on stuff. A couple weeks ago in, you get your new magical goth violin.
Yeah.
What's Yoshida doing this time?
Well, Yoshi's pretty much still kind of like thinking about what her brother said to her at the party. She's kind of distant. So, and also everybody else is pretty busy. So she kind of gets bored. In between, well, she needs to go find a library with books on the old gods, and but we can get to that in a second. But she really and her player, me, want to get her thieves tool proficiency. So we're going to spend as much time as it takes practicing on all of Abby's locks throughout this house, trying to figure out those locks.
And we tie it together. We figured out why Angel and Doma's door kept being open. So over the course of 2 months of dedicated time, you are able to get thieves tool proficiency, practicing consistently and focusing. Absolutely able to do that. A library. Sorry, Abby.
Oh, Avrin noticing that some of the locks keep getting unlocked and like putting two and two together. Occasionally, he'll go through and cast Arcane Lock on a couple of the locks to up the DC by 10.
Got practicing.
Does he figure it out that it's me?
Give me a stealth check, and Abby, give me a perception check. As you're opposed.
Oh, sorry. Oh, 25.
Natural one.
He has no idea. As far as Averin knows, he has a number of locks that are just faulty, We're gonna say some of the gold that you're spending on stuff out of sachet, like some of that gold, is going to you just start replacing locks because you're like, I don't know what's up, and so all of the every couple days, Abby comes around, hands you all new keys because all of the locks in the house have been redone. Um, Anybody that wants to roll a perception can to see if you know if anybody notices that it is Yoshida going. The DC is 25.
I rolled a natural 20, by the way.
24.
27.
So close.
Ah! Sorry, that was sorry about your ears. Sorry.
Sai knows everything.
Yoshida, you learn how to pick locks. You still spend some time with the pirates that are hanging out in Avern. They've carved out a little chunk of a neighborhood that is becoming known as theirs. It's about a block that's known as the New Charity, and they're kind of developing into a bit of their own gang.
Yes.
But
for them.
who you meet up with who, and she gives you some pointers.
I'm able to
And
find
actually,
her. That's dope.
yeah, well,
Only because she wants you to.
yeah, well, you bait her out with and ply her with
Cookies.
liquor and cookies. So spend some time, Polly, of course, chiming in and offering his input. But they give you your jumping off point, and Captain Crawford probably is the one that gives you your first, like, he gives you a thieves tool set that is like tarnished, hammered gold. Who gives you an actual thieves tool set that's going to work, because Crawford gives you like a golden thieves tool set, which
We'll break.
will just bend and torque around. So you have two thieves tools. One of them is garbage. The fancy
Well,
garbage, very
Yeah,
piratey
fancy
looking
garbage.
Yeah. But you can add thieves tools proficiency. As far as a library is concerned, you especially are aware that there's not going to be like a public library with a section on old gods that are illegal to study. The penalty of death restriction section. You do go back to Sparrow's shop and down into that room where he had like tried to kill you all. In some of the rubble, which has been mostly picked through, it seems, by the Vigilant Watch when they came and took all of the contraband. Going through the rubble and debris, you find a hidden spot with a few books that you can look over. Just old stories, things that were written down by scholars and bards. Stack that let you kind of research and hear some of the tales of the old gods and their deeds when they walked the earth as mortals. Finri and her battle with the Kraken on the open sea. Things
Can
like
I-
that.
Yeah. I find that, and then I sneak back, and then I ask Abby if I can borrow Sachet.
No.
Oh. Can I borrow you?
Yes.
Okay. So I walk him back to the Sparrow's Nest, and this is a bag that I can like put stuff in that like nobody can find, right? I wasn't there for Sachet.
It does function as like a interdimensional space. It is a bag of holding with extra features, as long as nobody knows how to get into it or takes it from Abby and turns it inside out.
Well, I try to, without telling Abby what we're doing, put all those books that I found into Sachet to take back to our.
Secretly, well,
Not-
I
sorry,
also
I'm-
have a bag of holding.
Oh, can I borrow your bag of holding?
No.
Oh,
So the question is, do you try to sneak the books into the regular bag of holding, or do you try to put the books into Sachet?
well, he knows which one I'm putting it in. I just don't want him to know what I'm putting in there.
Oh yeah, I'm aware. There's an
Okay.
important distinction here. I need to know which one bag
Let's
you're putting
just
the
do
books
Sachet.
into.
Let's just
Okay.
sachet it out.
Cool. Can I get a something along the lines of ew books from Sachet?
Ugh. Oh my gosh! Books? Ew.
I'm sorry. Reach in and pull the book out. I've read this one. Are
Sorry,
you?
that was the distinction. Sachet will complain to Averin about things that are being put into the bag, and so
They're so
Perhaps
archaic.
if you would like to store books, this one complains much less.
Oh, but she's not. I don't hear it, so I don't. I don't really care. But sure. Let's put it in the other one if you're gonna be sad.
I will probably read these at some point as well. So
Okay. Well, I'm gonna bring him back to our abode, and then if he lets me, I don't know if he would.
fair enough.
And then I'll probably pop a squat on Lear's bed and just like read without really giving her much context, just like there. And I think I have candy.
I'm going to assume you do. You are Pepperdine. You
And I just share candy with her. So,
yeah, like I said, you have this. You read the story of Finry and her battle against the Kraken on the open sea, the assistance of a small band of adventurers traveling from an unknown land, returning home. You have Oral in the first song, the tale of the goddess of music who sang the first musical notes and brought that to the world. Skioder, the warrior, in his 1,000 battles before, dwarves were carved from stone. Lots of them. A lot of them are floral tales. There are some stories of Krest too. He's kind of like Hephaestus is to the Greek mythos, where he doesn't really have a lot of stories about him. He very much is second fiddle to other gods. You learned that his preferred mortal form was that of a human. Humans represented constant change and striving for knowledge and progress. So usually he walked the earth as kind of an older man. All of these predate Avarice. None of these books contain any mention of the calamities that were to come. Gods were heroes. They were worshipped. They were idolized. A very direct contradiction to what you have like being taught now. There is one, which is a small journal. This was hidden. I'm gonna over 2 months and practicing lockpicking and sneaking around. You found this in like your second or third trip back to Sai's place, just to see if there's anything you missed.
Size?
Sparrows.
Sorry, but there is a black leather-bound journal, written mostly in Draconic, but with notes in common in the margins in a different script.
Oh, thank God.
But these are what you get from the Tales of the Margins. Is these are like the teachings of List, the goddess of secrets, and what seems to be like a really early iteration of what those teachings of this goddess might be. What you get being able to read, because you can't read Draconic, right? You can just read all of the notes in the margins are like there's like a line through a section, and next to it is just like, I wouldn't mention that. Oh, and this is an introductory stuff. Okay. And there's just kind of going through this and just weird, like, secrets. Like, there's nothing wrong with a white lie. Keeping secrets for the greater good is worth it, and secrets have their own value. And these weird tenets of this god that, even with the knowledge you've had previously, you haven't heard much of this goddess. But you're telling these tales mostly to Lear. And working with Averin, who pretty consistently checks back with you, and him having brought up your family and your voice and what you're doing isn't illusion, and recognizing it more is that you aren't limited. Like, most people can only use their voice to a certain degree, but you can change at will. You can shift and become kind of whatever you want. And exploring the bounds of that and realizing that you aren't what you always thought, but you don't know what that might be or why. You also receive news that while watching on one of the crystal screens that usually just shows ads and poorly wrote stories, in the murder of Vincent Caledon, there's been an arrest. That of Balder Pepperdine.
Fuck.
And his unknown accomplices that had infiltrated the party killed several guards and made off with a number of treasures. It is thought that, being a rival of the Pepperdine family, Balder, in a drunken stupor, took advantage of his friendship with Raced Caledon, and under the cover of the party murdered one of his family's rivals.
Did I find that out at the beginning of the 2 months?
This would be later on. This
Okay.
is the public announcement. He is yet to be publicly sentenced, but that is to take place in the coming weeks.
Well, I mean, I would try to get everybody in the room to watch this because it's all our fault. Like, we got my brother.
The strange telling of the Caledon story and a rivalry between two distinct and seemingly unrelated families came to a head when the young Balder Pepperdine seemingly hired a band of mercenaries and took it upon himself to attempt to end the Caledon family. Though there are other suspects currently being investigated, the names of the mercenaries hired are unknown, and sentencing has been delayed while other leads are examined. The screen flashes white for a moment, and then red begins pulsing. We recommend all inhabitants of Avarice remain indoors. Please do not be alarmed. The Vigilant Watch is working, but remain indoors. Remain safe. And then the message repeats. You hear
They did
outside
it.
in the streets the same message kind of echoing from the large boards that normally show just ads. See red flashing through the window. Some people looking up to each other, and the streets kind of begin to clear as people move into homes.
Angel's gonna go outside. See if she can see anything.
Okay, make a perception check.
Golem will go with her.
Welcome to make a perception check as well.
I'm going outside
This is
too.
This is at the end of the 2 months, by the way.
And one thing I did fail to mention at the end of the 2 months is he was also working on Spark.
Yes.
15.
As the three of them leave the room, what seems in a hurry, Sai's just gonna, what's going on? What's this? You guys good?
Don't
Oh,
know
I
what's
do.
going on. I can't see anything out here.
I guess Avron will go take a peek as well.
Sai's gonna roll an
Really?
insight check.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to see shit either.
The
Oh, no,
19 on
actually.
insight.
Okay. Just the situation in general, or
If Angel actually doesn't know what's happening, compared to like I was pointing out the TV, they were all like watching and leaving. Like, do I get that maybe there might be something that they're linked to here? I don't know what, but maybe.
I'm gonna say with the 19. This is this is this is unrelated to them. This
Okay.
is
Perception wise, I got a 16.
okay.
15.
5.
2.
I guess I
Wow.
can roll since I'm
We
going to
happen
be
to be
following everybody
making
out
Yeah,
at that
you
point.
make a perception as well. That's
Well, probably a good thing because that's a natural 20 for a 28.
Jesus.
You stop for a second and you follow them all out, and it's kind of fitting, Sai, that as you walk out onto the street, you hear a noise, hum, the edge of your perception, what you can, you're trying to piece it together. What is that? It's too far to make out details. Everything's the city, people murmuring and talking around you as they make their way indoors. And it clicks. You hear screams towards the center of the city, not terribly far from where you are, but towards the spire, the base, the center of terrace. Screams. They begin to grow. The lights are filled with red, the repeating announcement echoing blurs in the background. And you look to your right and your left, to the people all standing around you. And there's a moment where you go, I'm going to wake up. I follow this through, and I wake up every time. And that's where we're going to end tonight. And we're going to come back to you all standing in the street. And thank you guys so much. We're going to try not to wait multiple weeks. That's life gets in the way sometimes.
My bad.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to create just a really big cliffhanger so that we have to come back next week to see what happens next.
You did
on
a
Easy
good job.
Dispel. We hope to see you all next week. Next week's my birthday. We might not.
What do you want to do on your birthday more than play D&D?
Well, I'm not going to be in town for my. The week after next. I totally forgot. I forgot that I'm traveling for my birthday.
I'd have to say that Mike is the most upset.
Well, I was gonna like say something, but then he came in with the "you always wake up from this, and you're just kind of trying to get through it." And so I was like, "All right, well, maybe I won't say anything until a moment happens."
Fuck. We will see you. I'm going to try to play next week. I'm going to bring all my shit so that I can do it because I want to do this. This is for my birthday. I love you all. Love you all. Have a wonderful night. We will see you next week. Damn it. Bye.
How do you do this? I don't know.